Pharrell Williams Over the Moon, set number 10391, 966 pieces. This is an 18 plus set. Interesting parts, load of minifigure pieces, couple of very, very cool minifigures in Pharrell Williams and a female character who I'm not familiar with, not having seen the film. Some printed tiles as well in there. Very cool box art, very interesting display as it kind of self-stands. Coloured tiles, very similar to that kind of everything is amazing kind of uniformity of tiles, and a whole bunch of minifigure heads as well. So lots in here that's going to be interesting. Printed tiles on the thing, some metallic silver pieces as well in that kind of cockpit piece and in those visors there as well. So plenty of interesting parts to check out as we get stuck into this one and part it out. Okay, part it out. It is a monster. There is an awful lot of lots in this, 260 something lots, so 966 parts over 260 of lots, which makes for an awful lot of parts, as you can see. So let's start with the main event, which is kind of the minifigures. Here are, so I've parted out two of these, Pharrell and the other character whose name I do not know, which is probably pretty bad, but let's have a look at the instructions if it actually tells you anything straight away. Probably doesn't. No, it relies on you having watched the film, I guess. Female character, and then Pharrell with his red cap, which is pretty cool. Instructions, real nice, pretty chunky one. I do wish they print on the spine of these things. Anyway, and there you have it. And then there are 7 different colours of minifigure heads, which some I've seen, some I haven't seen, I don't think. So you've kind of got this one, which is pretty cool. I don't know what the technical colours are yet because I've not looked at the BSX file. This one, it looks very much like dark orange, so nice heads in there. This one's very kind of like nougat for the Americans, or nugget as I would say. This one's kind of like almost like I don't know, almost a cappuccino type colour. Nice, again, good little range of minifigure heads. This one's the light nugget minifigure head. Quite a lot of them have got these like little patches on the face. I guess that's part of the film. And then we have 2 which are in the darker colour, and again, I'm not sure what colour that is. This one's definitely dark brown in terms of colourway, and that one is slightly off of that with a little bit more I don't know, again, a bit more coffee coloured. Anyway, beautiful minifigure range, plenty there to go in the store. Obviously splitting them up in your drawers and stuff will take some working out. We have the 2 metallic gold cockpit pieces, which I'm sure are going to have some good value. And then in terms of the volume parts, you have an awful lot of 1x6 tiles in bright pink, bright light orange and bright green. There are a bunch of those plates. There's quite a lot of that colour throughout the set. A whole heap of 4x windows, which is pretty good. 4 helmets in pearl dark grey, which obviously kind of go with the 2 main figures. And then there are a bunch of printed tiles. There is the Atlantis apartments, which is, I think, is where he lived. There are the spaceship tiles, and then there are the my friends with the little play on words in there. And then we're into parts. I suppose I should mention those gold visors as well. Probably not super expensive, but still an interesting piece. So here we go, button down the hatches. I'll race through it in terms of parts. I won't go over every single part, but you'll kind of see what we've got in terms of, there's an awful lot of black for the spaceship, clearly. A lot of interesting colour things, like I think that is medium azure lift arms. A whole load of those. There are some black ones and some light blue grey ones. Not a great deal of black tiles in it. There's a lot of coloured tiles. Lots of curved slopes, obviously creating that base element. Some plates, lots of plates, some wedge plates, those ones with the holes in it and cut corners there. Some 2x4s, some of those more expensive ones, some booster rockets. That's an interesting chassis. Some Technic bricks in white, more slopes, Technic bricks, more slopes, 2 circular bricks, some brackets, medium azure and black in there, some 1x16 bricks, some of those things, some circulars, some 2x16 plates, more medium azure, slopes, 2x4s they can go over with the other ones. For those of you who wonder why some things are mixed together, it's pretty much how I store things in my store. So more Technic bricks. There's a few of these kind of in different colorways. 1x3s, some corner plates. Just 2 Technic axles in the whole thing. Those things that just remind me of loaves of bread. 2 circular tiles, the inverted ones, just those little things. Some wedge plates. There aren't a lot of wedge plates, to be fair, considering the shape of the ship, beyond what we've just seen already. And then we're into kind of bright green, medium azure, red, kind of those little half bricks, some jumper plates, a couple of those, a couple of tiles, nice little selection of those kind of levers. These little control panels, they're always quite nice. A selection of those, bright green, bright light orange, slopes, corner bricks, some 1x6 bricks, some 1x1 plates, slopes again, a couple of tails, and a printed brick, some of those in black, bright pink in those, some of those kind of plates, a whole bunch of jumper plates like that, and some smaller ones, inverted slopes, 2 of those kind of bricks, some of those corner ones, a whole bunch of kind of axles for the landing gear and some wheels to go with it, 2x2 bricks, some of those, little selection of these, obviously forming that kind of rocket takeoff area. And as you can see, kind of, as I mentioned, plenty of black in it. Some tiles, some of those kind of, not sure what you call those, black and white brick with slope top, some bricks, there's some white ones somewhere, black, white and medium azure in those, black and white for those. What are those? Clips on the top, some ingots, a couple of 1x2 tiles, plates, sorry, curved tiles, medium azure, what are they, 4x2 slopes, some of those little corner teardrop things, little wheelie things for the middle of the tyres, obviously, some of those, 4x6 plates, some panels, those, you get the idea, eh? It's a good test of my knowledge. Some longer plates, I think they're by 10s perhaps. Some bricks with studs on the side, some slopes, some more bricks with studs on the side, some 1x4 plates, some of those kind of brackets with the thing halfway through. As you can see, good little selection of colours, interesting colours, good kind of limited palette rather than getting too carried away. And you get the sense that there isn't an awful lot of bricks, kind of as you get with Star Wars, that they kind of put in amongst it to help build it. It seems to be the build is the build. And then down here we've got a continuation of parts. These were the latter bags, so fewer in quantity, but we do get to some interesting parts down here. Some of those kind of, not sure what you call those, clips, some tiles, slopes, more tiles, those. Yeah, none of this is particularly exciting, but there's a bunch of these kind of domes which I know are pretty good, and we'll get to some more interesting parts in a second. Some slopes there, more. Not seen these so much before, so they're almost like maybe 4x4, 3x3 perhaps. Domes, much not like those 2x2 ones that you get, but much bigger. Some dishes, Not an awful lot of Technic pings for the kind of build that it is, which is interesting. Some arches, some lift arms, some of those kind of strange corner things, some white wedge plates, a bunch of balls. This is a new part on me. I have never seen that before in bright green. Some kind of Technic pin, never seen that before. That's definitely new to me. And then the final two studs on the side and some white slopes, and that is it. An awful lot of parts, I think you'll agree. And like I say, a good solid controlled palette, which makes it kind of interesting. Given that there's an awful lot of lots in the set, if you could part out more than I have, obviously it's a fairly expensive set. I got a bit of a discount and I got it overseas, so I kind of got an exchange rate discount on it as well and didn't pay, and I was able to claim the GST on it as well as I came back through customs. So if you could part out more of these, it would be a definitely interesting set to develop a bit of volume on different parts, because there are some parts in here which are of interest, and currently it doesn't look like an awful lot of these have been parted out in Australia. That said, it could be a few weeks before this appears on the YouTube channel, so by that point it could be a completely different story. So let's jump onto a Brickstore file and see how it's looking. So let's take a look. 10391, Over the Moon with Pharrell Williams. Although I wonder why they didn't just lead with Pharrell Williams. Anyway, last 6 months sitting at 415. Current inventory sitting at 483. Quite a difference. I'm going to assume that somebody somewhere with a minifigure way overpriced. None available currently on the Australian market. The USA is the nearest, and in terms of those minifigures that I suspect are the ones that are freaking that inventory average, we've got Town 508 and 507. Australian dollars there. What do we got? We're going up to 27 US, 22 euros, 1832, 600 Czech. What does that work out as? Some big numbers there. Yeah, what is that working out in Australian dollars? 39. So maybe not. Who was the one that was in? What is £18? That's about 36, isn't it? Euros. What's euros? 36. Oh no. All right, I stand corrected. Maybe it's the other minifigure that's Pharrell Williams. 36, 26, 25 euros, 17, 31 Canadian. Check. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not then. What's that one? 38. So no. Anyway, that's totally ruined my theory on that, hasn't it? So yeah, too many figures, both exclusive, obviously. Over on, well, I should start with Lego, shouldn't I? This is the Australian Lego site. I know I've sometimes got this wrong, but this is the Australian site, running it at $199.99, a limit of 3 of them, 966 pieces, a lot of minifigure heads, as you all know. If you want to pay over the odds for it, head over to eBay as usual, and you can pay way above average for it, upwards of $279 if you want to get absolutely scalped by some crooks. And elsewhere, Amazon actually has a really good deal on it, $179.68, a fairly decent saving. Elsewhere, not many people selling it because it is a Lego exclusive. So limited a supply, but none available on Bricklink, making it kind of interesting. So let's take a look at the actual set. As we kind of went through, some weird and wonderful colours, some printed parts, some interesting pieces of note, but not an awful lot of real value. Minifigure heads probably the one that's going to drive the value. So let's have a look at the current, the last 6 months sales for that, and where are we sitting. So yeah, 2 minifigures are the big winners there. Let's stack this up where the prices go. So Helen Don't know how you pronounce that second name. Haven't seen the film. Not really that much of a connoisseur of Pharrell Williams himself, but yeah, Helen is the prize of the set at $32.11, with Pharrell second, the metallic gold windshield, and then it really is the minifigure heads. And having parted this out myself a while back now, they have sold pretty consistently. Not all of them, but some of them at least. Probably about half of them I've sold through since I parted this out when it came out, whenever that was now. The discs, those are sold as well. I haven't sold any of the tiles with the printed on it, but yeah, where are we going? We're all the way down to those slopes 45 2x1s before we dip under $1 per piece, and that's only just by 0.1 of a cent for those slope curved 2x4s. And then it holds its value pretty well all the way down. Some nice bright green tiles there, 26 of them, a good volume there if you're looking for a little bit of volume in the store. And again, bright green 1x1 plates, 19 of them there. Let's actually have a look at what comes in good quantity. Let's flip that chart up the other way. Those mediums who were plate modified, the bright green tiles, bright pink tiles, so the things making the actual kind of blast off rainbow, are the good bits there. In terms of the minifigures then, we have, let's get that back up to the top, we've got Helen at 32 and Pharrell at 31. The two helmets obviously fairly valuable as well, especially probably with the recent arrival of that navy blue spaceman as well. But let's just check out the part out value for the minifigures as well. So the last 6 months on Pharrell, he's more valuable as a one figure, down to 19.22, and Helen parted out drops down to 21.28. So yeah, better keeping those minifigures together. So let's take a little look at the current inventory averages and see what that does. Jumps it up to 486.41, which is only slightly above that. So yeah, interesting that that's pretty accurate. And again, it's the same things that are kind of leading the way. Helen, Pharrell, the windshield, minifigure heads all the way, and we kind of keep our value higher by a couple of parts, but only just, and then things kind of stay fairly similar all the way down. But given that we're talking about a $200 set, you're not getting an incredible part out value. Yes, you're getting a lot of minifigure parts coming into the store, but you're not getting a lot of value, and you're not really getting a lot of volume and parts to add into your store. So unless you're really looking to bolster minifigure parts and you're able to invest an awful lot into this, then I don't really see this being a particularly great set to introduce into a store just yet. Perhaps wait for it to kind of tail off, look to pick this up on a discount, perhaps wait for it to start to retire. But other than kind of minifigure heads, there's not much in this one for stores, and there isn't really a great return on it other than adding minifigure parts, as I've said far too many times. So yeah, interesting set, but not the best.